All right, class, we're looking a little light today, but today we're going to be going over a big review on alcohol. So a lot of it's going to be the same information, but I know we've kind of gone over a lot, and so I want to slow down and make sure we have it before jumping into driving while intoxicated. So that'll be our next lesson and our final one. But we're going to do a big review on the pathway, kind of the consequences, all that jazz, and then we're going to work on applying it in like game scenarios. We'll do role play, a little bit of trivia at the end. So start with this.
Did you get it?
This is this. Actually, yeah. So I know we've seen this slide before, but I want to make sure we're drilling that we got it in. So what is alcohol? Simple term, another name for it. Starts with the E. Brendan? Ethanol? Okay. Can someone give me some types of alcohol?
Beer.
Beer, yeah. And would that be like a higher alcohol percentage or lower? Compared to maybe liquor?
I think it's higher.
Be lower.
Lower.
Yeah, so there's not as much alcohol in it. So it's not as likely to get you messed up in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Any other types of alcohol?
Wine.
Great. You know the alcohol percentage in that? Typically? It ranges, but
10.
yeah, that's about around there, yeah. And so the pathway. Anyone want to walk me through the pathway? Where does it start?
No.
Perfect, okay. Then? Yeah. Yep, esophagus, good. Brennan? Not quite.
Stomachs.
Stomach, there you go, Jonathan. Okay, and then when it's in the stomach, is there any digestion or absorption in there? Yeah.
10%.
Close to 10.
12, 13, 15, 20.
20%, yep, okay. So that's not all of it. It's not all of it. And is there any absorption in the mouth?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember I was saying like wine testers, like there'll be a little bit of wine that goes through the wine that goes through the mucosal lining that actually gets absorbed, even when they spit it out. So after the stomach, it's going to which one?
Large.
Small intestine. And then this is going to be where how much of it gets absorbed?
70. 1. 72. 80.
So that's where 80% gets absorbed.
Oh.
So that's where the majority of it goes. Then it's going to the
Large. Liver.
liver. So then it's liver. That's where it detoxifies it. That's where almost all detoxification happens. It's in the liver. And it's kind of where if you drink a lot of alcohol, where you can only consume about a drink per hour if you exceed that, it's then going to cause some problems with the liver because it's trying to do too much. So the liver is going to be responsible for turning it into acetate, which is that non-toxic form. So ethanol itself is very toxic, and it's going to convert it into other toxic enzymes until it goes into acetate. So then, once it's in the liver, it's then going to
Large intestine.
yeah.
Urethra.
Not yet, no. So it's gonna head up into the lungs, okay? And so this is where the breathalyzer, remember the breathalyzer scenario? Where like if the breathalyzer can figure out how much alcohol is in your system because you're breathing it out. And so it gets evaporated in the alveoli. And then you breathe it out, the breathalyzer can take that scan. So then it's going to come back into your heart, and it's now freshly oxygenated blood, right? And so now that it's in your heart, it's going to shoot out to the rest of your body with oxygenated blood, and this is where the ethanol is just shooting to your brain and other working muscles. And so this is where typically if you're a woman, you have more fat because God made you so you could be able to birth children. And when you have more fat, you have less blood volume because fat doesn't need blood to go through it like muscles do. So if you have less blood volume and you drink the same amount of alcohol as someone else, you're going to have more ethanol, alcohol, in your blood. Like the ratio will be higher compared to a man. And if you have more muscle, you'll have more areas for the blood to the ethanol to be absorbed, so it can get absorbed and gone through your system faster. So some consequences: high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, like we talked about, and digestive problems, many different types of cancers, weakening of the immune system, damage to liver, learning and memory problems, including dementia and poor school performance. It actually worsens your school performance as well. Like the next day if you're recovering from it. Mental health problems, including depression and anxiety, social problems, including family problems, unemployment, alcohol use disorders, or alcohol dependence, building muscle. Jonathan, what happens when you're drinking alcohol?
Protein synthesis.
Yeah, it disrupts it because it's got to absorb all that ethanol. So it can't build muscle. It has to get that through the system first. Hangovers, impairs judgment with car accidents. More than 140,000 people die from alcohol-related causes each year. So I figured this is kind of one of the most talked about subjects in alcohol. And so we're going to jump in on our final lesson and kind of discuss that on a further, deeper scale. Like I said, this is a lot of information, so I want to make sure we have it down first. Fetal alcohol syndrome. It's a condition that in a child that results from alcohol exposure during the mother's pregnancy. So this is if you drink any alcohol at all, and there's no for sure answer to how much alcohol it is. It causes brain damage and growth problems. It's not reversible, and there's no safe amount to consume while pregnant. There's many different physical effects. Picture right there that kind of shows some of them, but small eyes, thin upper lip, short nose, smooth skin surface between the nose and upper lip, deformities, slow growth before and after birth, vision difficulties, small head circumference, heart defects, and then in terms of central nervous system, there's poor condition of balance, intellectual disability, learning disorders, and delayed development, poor memory, and poor judgment skills. So, with all that information we know now, I just want to kind of put a little video. Oh wait, how do I exit out of that again?
Alcohol use disorder, also called alcoholism, is a chronic brain disorder.
You guys can just
that
listen.
affects 6% of Americans, and many of them may not recognize they have a problem. Here are 4 warning signs to look out for. 1. People with alcoholism crave alcohol. It's the foremost thought in their mind. Number 2. They are compelled to get more to drink. Getting more alcohol becomes their main objective. 3. A person with alcohol use disorder regularly loses control. 4. The consequences of an alcohol addiction can rack up where the person with the disease still isn't stopped. There is hope for people living with alcohol use disorder.
It's almost over.
Treatment is available. You may benefit from therapy, medication, and support groups. If you suspect you or a loved one is living with an addiction to alcohol, confide in someone you trust.
Okay, sorry about not getting that video up there. Okay, I'll speed it up. So, with all the information we do know, along with this explaining some signs that someone could have a problem with alcohol, I think it's really important to be able to distinguish if someone is dealing with that in your life, so you can kind of guide them through it, be a helping hand for them, and know more than just, oh, alcohol's bad for you. Because if someone's struggling, they're going to be like, why? If you don't know the actual reasoning, it's not going to be convincing at all. So I was going to say partner up. I guess we'll just do a little 3-way group here. So I want you guys to each ask each other one question. This will kind of prep us for trivia later. But ask a question about alcohol, just see if they get it correctly, okay? Could be consequence, pathway, whatever you want. Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Not really stuff, right? Straight to the salad. Straight to the liver. Then where does it go?
Oh, I forgot to mention, where does it, after it reaches all the other body parts, kind of like the brain and all that, where does it go after that?
Urethra.
I mean, basically, yeah, the kidneys. Kidneys as an organ, and then it's going to send to the urethra, yeah. You were thinking, you know you were talking about. All right, you guys can go back to your spots. So everyone's going to have to get involved in this because we're doing 2 different scenarios for role play. So does anyone want to do part 1, preventing a friend from going to a party? Yeah, Brendan and Nathan. So as you can see, one's going to be a little more of an intellectual conversation. One's going to be more of a kind of a real life scenario. They're both real life scenarios, but one's going to be, especially because you guys are 10th graders right now, there is a big, I don't know, it's a big influence in your lives. And a lot of people are trying to get you to go out, so I want you to practice your saying those skills.
Who's going to the party?
Does anyone want to go to the party? In the scenario,
I'll go.
you'll go to the party?
Can we both go?
Do you guys want to both try to go to the party, and Jonathan, you're saying no? Or do you want to sit out for this one?
I can say no if you want.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are both wanting to go to the party. You guys are going to be trying to convince Jonathan to join you. Jonathan, you're telling him no. Okay.
Yo, you should let the party at the shoot tonight?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Jonathan, you're coming. You're in.
Oh, what's the party about? We're just having some fun, doing some.
It's typical shoot things. We're gonna be drinking all night and all that.
Let's say there's some good alcohol. We got one of our teachers to buy us some. I'm not gonna say who, but you should come.
I don't know. The little word concerned about you guys.
There's nothing to be worried
What did I say?
Girls party.
And you guys can be drinking like that night.
Everyone will be there though. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, but that would be like, you guys might get into some fights and then that's just like,
Yeah, we won't remember it in the morning. It's not a big deal.
I just don't know. That doesn't seem like a good idea to me, so I'm gonna go back to my house.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I mean, I can drive you home after.
No.
No?
No, he'll be sober enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a drink. He's only gonna have a few drinks, and it'll be good.
You can drive us home after, even if you don't want to drink.
You wouldn't want us to get in a car crash, would you?
True, but I'd rather stay out of it.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
Steam. You guys were very convincing. That was a good job. But I like how you said, one of you said how you're going to wake up not feeling good, hungover. I think Jonathan might have said that. But then, Brendan, did you mention you're not going to remember anything the next morning?
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely a consequence. I mean, some people might brag about that, but what if you do something very messed up? You have no clue, you know? And then also people, for some reason, when they start to drink, feel like they need to make it more fun by driving. So, Jonathan, I like that you said no to that. Maybe you could have said, you know, I could give you a ride if you guys really need it, just as like a helping hand. Okay, last one. Does anyone want to sit out now? You have the opportunity to.
I think I'm good, but like, I want to keep going.
Yeah, okay, all right. Feeling it.
Alright. Oh, you're doing this?
Unless you want to.
No, I'll go sit down. I just figured you already did something.
Okay. Informing a friend about what alcohol does to the body. So who wants to be the one who's curious and like asking questions?
I'll be asking questions.
You'll be asking
Unless you
questions?
ask. Yeah, I'll ask questions.
Okay. Just ask about yourself, like you're just curious, Jonathan.
Alright.
If you need any help, you can phone a friend.
And then I'm the first one.
No,
Yeah.
we're both the second one.
Part two.
I don't know about alcohol, and I'm asking you questions about
Yeah,
it.
like what it's
And, like-
doing to you.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
So, Jonathan, I was drinking the other night, and I don't know what was happening to my body. There were some weird things, like I couldn't remember things. I kept throwing up. I don't know. So, like, do you know like why or anything?
Yeah, because their small intestine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it smart to drive after drinking, or no? Do you know why?
It affects your judgment.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir.
Good, very good.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was perfect. We're running a little short on time, so we'll, that was perfect though, Jonathan. You got all the right answers. Okay, quickly, we were gonna do a little brainstorming for 3 different Bible verses. Anyone have one Bible verse that they know of on alcohol? You guys can pull out your phones.
I think
Oh, unless Jonathan knows.
I know one on Proverbs. I don't know the exact one, but it says that beer is a brawler.
Okay. That's good. Let's try to get one more. And then right after we get one verse, we're going to jump into the trivia game, so. Yes? A story. We have a fast Bible verse because we're running out of time.
I
Okay,
got it.
Nathan?
Ephesians 5:18. It says, "Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit."
Perfect. I've used that one in other presentations as well. All right, so final thing, we're going to do a trivia game to really soak in this information. So, slap hand on table, simulating the button. Now, it's not get too hard. Let's respect our furniture here. When you know the right answer. First one to get 5 answers correct in a row. So, someone else can answer, you're fine. But if you get one wrong, you restart, okay? The goal is to try to get 3 total answers right, and that'll be your passing grade for today. So if time allows, winner gets to take a turn being it thinking of the questions, okay? Where does most absorption occur? Nate?
Small intestine,
Yes.
80%.
Okay. Where does 20% absorption occur? Jonathan?
Stomach.
What is fetal alcohol syndrome? Jonathan?
Fetal alcohol syndrome is when it affects alcohol during pregnancy.
Yes. Yeah. Me too. Is there any absorption in the mouth? Nathan?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know how much?
Like 5%, 10%, 15%.
It's like a very small amount, not even enough for me.
3%.
I don't even know the percentage. It's like less than 1.
Oh.
Name one consequence. Brendan.
Nausea.
Nausea. Yes. How many people die to alcohol-related events each year? Nathan.
Oh, 140,000.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like 95.
Though.
Yeah, 140,000. Okay. What does the liver do?
The liver, it takes in 80% and then it transports the rest to the lungs.
So no. It does. It takes in almost everything, so it detoxifies everything. But yeah, then it will send it to lungs. So say no for that, but you're close. Okay. What does the liver turn? What's the final byproduct of liver turning ethanol into? This will be worth 5 points automatically if you get it. Starts with the A. And then a C. Okay, we'll skip that one. What does, if you drink alcohol, will it interrupt how you work out? Brendan. And if so, how? Another point. Another 5 points. Game winner, if you get it.
Doesn't it stimulate muscle growth? Or not stimulate, doesn't it stop muscle growth or something like that?
Yeah, protein synthesis. Yep. Perfect. Brendan wins.
Isn't that-
All right. Well, we were talking about drinking and driving next class, so come prepared.